Boxing, and the thing I want to talk about today is instant replay in boxing. The time has come for it to happen. I was watching a fight last night on HBO's Boxing After Dark. It was a fight between Alfred Angulo and Cosme Rivera. And in this fight, Cosme Rivera had taken the fight with just 4 days' notice. And when he went into the ring with Angulo, he was outweighed by 15 pounds, and it showed very quickly. This fight was a mismatch from the word go, and Angulo was pounding Rivera, and the fight ended up having to be stopped in the 5th round when the commissioner stepped in because Rivera was taking undue punishment. But Rivera could have easily won this fight because I believe it was in the 2nd round, Angulo gets cut. And the referee makes the judgment that the cut was because of a punch by Rivera. But if you look at the replay, that's not what happened at all. It was a headbutt. And the thing about this is that if a headbutt is the cause of a cut, then after, I believe it's after 4 rounds, if they have to stop the fight because of the cut, then the fight goes to the scorecards. But if they stop the fight because of a cut and it's ruled because the puncher hit the guy, then the fighter that caused the cut with a punch wins the fight. And that could have easily happened last night. I mean, Rivera is getting his ass kicked, but he could have won this fight because of a headbutt. And if he would have kept pounding on Angulo's eye, I mean, to Angulo's defense, he did a good job protecting that eye. But if Rivera would have been able to open that cut to such a degree that the ringside doctor would have stopped that fight, then Rivera could have walked away with a victory, and he was getting his butt whooped, but he would have got the benefit of a bad call by a referee, and we can't have that in boxing. Another fight that happened last night between Sergio Martinez and Kermit Cintron. There was a knockdown in the 7th round, and Cintron was saying, "Hey, I got headbutted." And the referee said, no, it wasn't a headbutt. And the referee, in fact, was right about that, which was good. But then Cintron's sitting there on his knee saying, "Hey, I got a headbutt, I got a headbutt." And then the referee's counting down, 7, 8, 9. And then Cintron just barely gets up. But there was some question as to whether or not he did get up. And if he didn't get off the mount by the count of 10, then that fight is over. Initially, they said the fight was over. But then the referee said, no, he got up by the count of 10. And they allowed the fight to continue. But that's one of those things that the referee, hey, let's face it, when you're in a boxing match like that, you can't see everything. So there's a time when you need to rely on the replay, and it wouldn't cause any harm. Hey, you make the judgment on this fight last night with Angola, hey, the cut was because of a hit. Well, in between the round, you say, hey, we looked at the replay, and it was not because of a hit. It was because of a headbutt. And you change the ruling there so that if the fight has to be stopped, it goes to the scorecard, and you don't let a fighter that got his butt kicked win a fight. It's important. It needs to happen in boxing. There's other things in boxing. You know, there's a lot of times where and you're watching it live, and you can't tell yourself until you see the slow motion. When a guy falls down, does he fall down? Was he tripped, or did he get a punch? You know, which one was it? And you can find out by looking at the replay, because that's big. Because if you get a knockdown, you get an extra point. The fighter knocks down. But if you know, so that could be a big difference in a fight. It could be a 10-8 round instead of a 10-9 round, and that could make the difference in the fight. Also, there's things, a lot of times you'll see below the belt punches. So, was it a below-the-belt punch? There's a fight last night again, Sergio Martinez and Kermit Cintron, where Sergio Martinez got deducted a point for hitting Cintron in the back of the head, and that cost him the fight. But you look at the replay, that's not what happened. Cintron makes a move when he's swinging, and it ends up hitting him in the back of the head, and it's not Sergio Martinez's fault. It wasn't intentional. If you look at the replay there, then, you know, most people would have said, don't deduct the point. That's why you could use instant replay, and you could write injustices right there so somebody doesn't walk away with a victory that shouldn't. And I don't know exactly how you implement it, but I'm sure there's several ways you could do it. You could maybe give the trainer a red flag and give him a certain amount of times when he could throw the red flag at the end of the round, and it could be looked at. appeals or whatever you want to say. Or you could put it in the hands of the referee saying, hey, after the round, I want to go look at something. I'm not sure. I want to make sure I got it right. Or you could put it in the hands of the commissioner. But you make those judgments right then, and then you correct things. It would be great for boxing. I hope it happens. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is there is a series online. It's HBO.com. And if you look on the left-hand margin, there is boxing, a little icon for boxing, and below that is a icon that you click on. It's for Ring Life, and if you click on that, you'll see a video series. The series chronicles the life of about 8 fighters, and I think they've got 5 or 6 episodes now, and it's going to go through April. And there's a lot of good episodes on there. There's one on Tommy Hearn's son, who's boxing. Also, there's a nice one on Chris Arreola when he went through his last fight. And it tells you the fight from a different perspective. The one with Chris Arreola told the fight from the perspective of his wife. She's sitting there, you know, Arreola in that fight got dropped in the second round, I believe it was, and his wife's all crying, and he's got the daughter there. She's at ringside, and you know, she's thinking, oh my God, what's happening? And she's bawling. And then a few minutes later, when he puts the guy down with a knockout, she's jumping for joy. It's interesting. I think all boxing fans would enjoy it. So take a look at it. You can see it there, or if you want, you can click on boxing12.com, my website, and you can. I've embedded the series there on my website, one of the February 14th entries. So take a look at it. I think you'll enjoy it. For now, this is Rousey. I'm out.